It is Tuesday, my dudes.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
And a happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. And I think this is going to be a pretty good one. I've been keeping my head in the sand for most of the weekend in expectation of this particular show right here. How you doing, fellas?
Howdy.
Check.
I'm here. I just was giving him a second, but he didn't go. So I'm here. I'm excited as well. And I did the same thing. I watched one or two things like late Thursday. And I said, okay, if I do this, then I better not. I'll be number one, I'll be sad and blue. And then number two, I want to wait and see what's going on from Zack. So then I'll play catch up. That's kind of what I did last year as well, was spent the next week afterward watching everybody's streams, because that's when all the fun stuff happened. Anyway, but yeah, I'll hush. What's up, Zachariah?
What is up, fellas? Man, I miss you guys.
Oh, we missed you too, sir.
Absolutely, sir. You were missed.
Weird.
So tell us all about it.
All right, so go.
And you got 2 hours to tell us everything.
Best event ever.
Nice.
It really went well. Karen looked so calm throughout the whole thing. It was just, and there's some young idiots, local idiots, that were, doing their trolling and trying to make internet YouTube videos or TikTok or something like that. That was about it. That was the only little, hey, you guys go on. This is a private property. You're not allowed to be here. One of those things. The actual owner of the Shriner Hall, because he caught wind that the event might be moving next year. So he came walking up. He's like, where is Karen B? And what is this I hear about Las Vegas? He's like, this is the home of Flattoberfest.
Thank you. Awesome. I don't even know this guy, but he is getting a shake as soon as I meet him.
Yeah, cool guy. And it's funny because guess who won Mark Sargent's hat?
Okay.
The guy that owns the Shriner Hall.
I think it was one of his buddies, but it was a Shriner.
That's awesome.
Trig!
Oh yeah, it was awesome, man. It was just so good. The music was really good. I heard the presentations were real good. Cammy and I were swamped. Like, I didn't even enter the room Saturday until I didn't see one speaker say one word, pretty much. There's a great idea Karen had. She got an extra room, so we got to be as loud as we want the whole time. James, oh my goodness, James, it's going to be a week. I don't know if James will be there for Melodome Wednesday. His throat, he could barely talk. Yeah, it was so cool seeing all the guys from the Melodome together like that. That was pretty awesome.
I bet that was really cool. That was an awesome experience for them.
Yeah. Yeah, they almost didn't get the show in Sunday. They had to get a little wake-up call from Chris and Mike heading over to James's house, knocking on the door. I had even sent Austin a message. I was like, everything all right, guys? Just making sure everybody got home safe, make sure nothing happened. You know, just that uncle, in me, making sure everybody's okay. And yeah, they were fine, of course. They were just sleeping in a little bit. But no, man, it was awesome. It really was. And the children, didn't see a lot of children that had been to almost all of them. So there was a couple that I was like, oh, I really wanted to show them my new toys. But there was so many new children. Man, and they are sharp. So smart. I was telling them all that, hey, we don't know a lot of this stuff. We adults have all been brainwashed by our schooling. We need you guys to help figure all this stuff out. Yeah, a lot of smiling faces, a lot of new faces, a whole lot of new faces.
It's always good.
And that guy I was telling you about, he was there, Matt. That's at all of them. Never seen him online. Never seen him on a YouTube chat or anything. I've only known him from Flat Earth conferences.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you guys about the presentations and stuff, but yeah, I didn't see a one. I had a gentleman come and donate some stuff he had just sitting around up in his attic. Bunch of neodymium magnets and coils and lenses, and then he pulled out like the one that was like, oh, and he brought me a Wimhurst generator, an old one.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Big Leyden jar. This thing zapped me so good. Oh my goodness. I didn't even mean to do it. That was the funny part.
Lost all of Friday night.
Yeah. Man, it zapped me good. No, this was Sunday. I didn't see him until Sunday. And man, that thing holds some charge. It's got those Leyden jars in it. So they're like two little capacitors. So once I had it charged up, watching it, zapping it, you can even smell ozone, that like thunderstorm smell after you do it for a while, like a straight minute. Yeah, it's amazing the smell it creates. But so those Leyden jars were really charged up, and I did not discharge them. And I went and I touched one of these metal things just because I was looking at it and I was interested. Like, okay, that goes there. And I was like, ooh, that thing gave me a little shock. And like an idiot, I go and touch both of them at the same time. So that thing,
yeah, that would probably be
that went right through my chest, and I was like, "Ooh!" That woke me up. So yeah, Sunday, that was early Sunday, like before, like as soon as I got there, he pulled that thing out, And of course I had to play with it like right away, you know? Man, did that
Well,
wake
it's just
me up.
closer to pure energy. That's all. Can't wait to see how your phone sounds this Friday night.
Dude, the scouts were there. It was cool seeing, you know, putting names with faces, and I wish you all could have been there. Brian, BCB, cool guy. Yeah, we got to hang out. He was the one I got to hang out with more than anybody. It was wild, and I really didn't get to hang out with him all that much. But like the times I got away, it was like Brian was one of those people that was always like I was able to find. He was always like where I ended up. It was cool. I'd walk out and he'd be standing there. It's like, oh, okay, I can go over here and just stand by Brian, and yeah, it was awesome.
I've been super jealous. Wishing I could be there with everybody.
Yeah, there's always next year. We're hoping somebody, because, yeah, that made Karen B feel so warm and fuzzy when that guy told her, no, this is the home of Flattoberfest.
Right.
No doubt.
And call it the return of Flattoberfest next year.
But maybe something on the West Coast, like a solar return thing. I don't know. Or maybe even if Karen doesn't do it and Karen does do something on the West Coast, it might be at a different time, and Flattoberfest will still be here. But maybe somebody else might take the reins, maybe. I don't know. I heard all kinds of little rumblings about possibilities.
Yeah, I was about to say, I bet there were all kind of little networking ideas being tossed about.
And huge shout out to the Kakalaki crew. Dude, they were cooking all weekend, like all day, all night. I mean, you got there and you could get breakfast, and then you could get lunch, and then you had dinner. I mean, it was insane, all the food that they were cooking. It was like quick. Like, you asked for a hamburger and it didn't take too long. And you had fries and a burger, and, you know, you could even get special cheeseburgers.
Ooh.
With a little magic butter on there. There is magic sugar. Dude, oh my goodness. We won't get into all the magical stuff that was being shared around there, but wow.
No issues with law enforcement?
That's the greatest part about being at the Shriners Hall. 80% of all police in America belong to the Blue Lodge, which is a Freemasonic, you know, lodge. It might be a little bit lower. It might be 70, 75%. I know the number's way up there. No, they don't mess with the Shriners unless the Shriners call and ask, say, hey, we need you to remove somebody. It is we're not out in the parking lot shooting up and doing rails in the bathroom and shit like that, you know.
Good to know.
Nobody's getting way too wasted and, you know, starting fights and stuff like that. We're flat earthers. We know how to have fun, and we know how to not lose control anymore, for the most part, you know? So yeah, they loved us. They really did. Brian saying, yeah, magical brownie for sure. Yeah, the brownies were a hit this year again. I got a lot of, oh my God, dude. Like, Stavely said, like 2 hours after he ate it, it kicked in. And I forget who else. Yeah, they were going up, getting ready to sing, and all of a sudden it kicked in Friday night. Yeah, Ian. It was awesome seeing Ian there. Yeah, man. I want another one now. I've never wanted another one so quickly again. Like usually I need a few days. You notice how I can talk already?
I noticed you sounded really strong.
Yeah.
I was singing all week last week. Like loud. Usually I don't sing very loud, but I knew I was going to be using my voice. Oh my goodness, James. James just sounded like this when he was big. Oh, it was so bad. I felt so bad for him. Yeah, I know how that feels. Yeah, Nora in chat. I saw that.
Yeah, I was about to say Nora one's flower there in chat saying they had a big event going off there in the UK. Having quite a blast thinking of us there. Thank you, lady. We miss you as well. And all our good friends across the pond. James has no voice, Austin says. Yeah. Well, he's already a soft-spoken guy as it is. And then, yeah, just rolling that voice all weekend, it can get to you. How did Cammie make it?
Good, real good. Yeah, everybody, I heard nothing but oohs and ahs coming from over there.
Nice.
This year I got to make a lady cry. I didn't pinch her or anything like
just
that.
Just make fun of her and point and laugh until she broke down?
Yeah. No, I was telling her how, I wasn't religious. I was actually an atheist, and then I found the Fibonacci sequence and it kind of changed everything. And she was like, she said something, I don't know, something about a story about that in the Bible, about how in the end days, God's children will be called back to him. And it won't be through the church. Like God will speak to his children and they will teach something or other, or I don't know, the truths. And that'll be I don't know, something. But she was saying, yes, all of you that are finding the creator through, physics and science and not through a church or a religion or something like that. She said, you guys are really God's children. And she just started bawling. It touched me.
That's awesome, man. That's really beautiful.
And all those children were so smart. I missed Austin's children, but I'm sure they had a great time. I am sure they had a great time. They got to go to Legoland and they got to go hang out at this adventure like land type thing.
Yeah.
So he made sure that the boys had a good weekend while Mom and Pa were out having some fun. But yeah, it was awesome. Oh, the children, when Chief Crow was playing, had a bunch of these globes, like blow up globes, and they were destroying them. So you have some, ranging from like 4 years old up to like probably 9-10 years old, all taking these globes and trying to destroy them while Chief Crow's playing. And it's all being recorded. You're going to see some great video footage coming out of this year's Flytoberfest. And I didn't get the footage, but FE Nation, much love, brother. It was awesome meeting you and hanging out. He got a whole bunch of good footage, and he's going to be sending it to us once he gets it off his card. There's a lot of people that record. Man, a lot of not young, a lot more of the teenage crowd, the high school crowd was there.
Really?
Yes.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it was awesome. And they were into it, man. They were digging it. It seemed like very smart young men were there, which was, got me excited. These young guys that are just getting ready to go to college and they're getting into this stuff. And man, when I lit up the Tesla coil with the gas tubes. This one young guy, he's just, oh my goodness. He knew right away, these are all the noble gases. I've never seen them all like this with my own eyes. Blah. He was, yeah. There's a lot of passion out there for truth. And I think I saw more of that this year and this was just in so many different ways, one of the best ones. I don't know how to explain it.
Sounds like you're fertilizing some seeds that were already planted. That's good shit.
Thing.
Oh, Liz asked, that was a Galilean thermometer, Liz, that my mom had got me for Christmas. That was one of my first instruments that I asked her to get me for playing with physics. But these things happen. Isn't it? I had my little temper tantrum there that you saw. I had to go take a deep breath and go for a walk and ground for a sec. And then I was like, quit being a baby.
It's just a Galilean thermometer.
It would be okay if it was just water, but it's paraffin oil. And man, did that stink. It was not a pleasant smell right after that broke. It's not like a really super unpleasant smell, but it's like a really thick, chemically smell.
Wait, what did you break? I'm sorry.
A Galilean thermometer.
Oh, with the little balls in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I broke one right here behind me. I used to have one my son gave me, and it had it's like a setup. It had a barometric globe that was designed as a globe, like it had the continents embossed in the glass, and then it had a little place next to it for the thermometer. And yeah, something fell off of the shelf and hit the thermometer dead on. And when that broke open, dude, I had no idea what had happened because I just heard something fall behind me. And suddenly the smell hit me. And I'm like, what is that? When I realized it was that. It was all over my books back here, all over some of my.
And it's not like a liquid.
No, it was oily. Exactly. And I was like, why is it oily? What the hell is this stuff? Dude, I was so upset. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I had no idea it was that way inside. But to get that different buoyancy of those different things, I guess it would have to have some type of oiliness to it, perhaps. I don't know. But yeah, I've still got the little beads sitting here behind me on the shelf, the little globes that were in it.
I saved mine. Yeah, it's much denser than water. That's why they use it. Those things suspend in it a lot better. Those different. Yeah, each one of those little beads has a different amount of barometric pressure inside of it. The air bubble inside of each of those is a little different. Or maybe it's the liquids are a little different in there. I forget.
It's probably the liquids. I think the barometric pressure, I think, is the one that is the actual barometer that works similarly. I think the Galilean thermometer you're talking of works on the viscosity of that oil that's in there.
The oil.
And then the temperature, and the oil in the globe.
Yeah, sorry. Real quick, before we hit the break, I'm in chat asking, anyone catch the eclipse yet? I peripherally saw something about an eclipse and didn't look into it. And that's it. That's all I did. I saw it go by my feed. I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. How am I not on top of this?
I may have posted a story in the Space Lettuce pile, but maybe not. I don't think I
did. Thank you. I completely forgot.
I don't know that it's there.
I kind of I did the same thing Josh did. I see a couple of you guys saying you couldn't watch. I think I'm the said it as well because of just the want of wanting to be there so bad. So I kind of disconnected. I did a lot of stuff away from the TV. I played a lot of guitar. We went and saw the grandkids and hung out all day Saturday. So yeah, I didn't sit because I planned on, watching a few after I saw Thursday night, though. It just let me know that, it was going to kill me to see all that fun I was missing. And I didn't want to begrudge anybody anything. I didn't want to have a bad feeling about it in any way from the wanting to be there. So I was just going to wait and hear the joy like we're getting right now from Zach. And I'm so glad I did it that way. And I'll go back and play catch up. But I will go outside here in a few minutes. In fact, here in about, a minute and 59 seconds. I will go out there and see what I can see.
Yeah, I've only seen one of the presentations so far. I listened to Austin's yesterday, but yesterday was Hank's day. He did so good. 4 days of Dad being gone, like over.
I didn't think about that. You have a babysitter issue as well. I didn't think about it.
Yeah, I got home Sunday. I was like, all right, man, Hank and Dad.
Yeah.
1,000 minutes. Hank and Dad. You got it, bud. You get me for 1,000 minutes. I'm yours. So yeah, we had a good day hanging out and relaxing, and I got some unpacking to do. Man, the Flat Earth community is amazing. All the little donations that people made, and just here, maybe you could use this in your next demonstration, this or that. Just the ideas, really. The ideas for new demonstrations. Next year, I want to do Star in a Jar. I really want to create sonoluminescence. And then we need a piezoelectric demonstration. I think I'm going to cut out some of the electricity stuff that I have. The rods and the electrophorus. They're interesting to teach people how we, at least through history, learn stuff. But
I hear the break.
Yeah, I hear it too. It might be more of a one-on-one works best with some of that stuff as opposed to group demonstrations. Stick around. We do have a whole nother second half to the first half of this show. Just have a few commercials. Let Chris Geo pay some bills, and we'll be back with some Space Lettuce, some more Flattoberfest stories, and who the hell knows what else. We'll be right back.
It's a luxury to pursue what makes you happy. It's a moral obligation to pursue what you find meaningful. And that doesn't mean it's easy. It might require sacrifice. If you need to change your job too, let's say you have a family and children and a mortgage, you have responsibilities. You've already picked up those responsibilities. You don't just get to walk away scot-free and say, well, I don't like my job, I quit. That's no strategy. But what you might have to do is you think, well, this job is killing my soul. All right, so what do I have to do about that? Well, I have to look for another job. Well, no one wants to hire me. It's like, okay, maybe you need to educate yourself more. Maybe you need to update your curriculum vitae, your resume. Maybe you need to overcome your fear of being interviewed. Maybe you need to sharpen your social skills. Like, you have to think about these things strategically. If you're going to switch careers, you have to do it like an intelligent, responsible person. That might take you a couple of years of effort to do properly.
From the dawn of man, we have turned to nature to help attain balance within ourselves. But somewhere, we lost our way. Western culture is once again remembering the healing benefits of CBD, the non-psychoactive component of the hemp plant. That's why more and more people who use CBD report relief from inflammation and chronic pain, balanced blood sugar and cardiovascular system, relief from muscle tensions, tremors, migraines, headaches, anxiety, depression, and the list goes on. The big question is, where do you get it? IoLife is a 99% pure CBD oil made with all organic ingredients, and it's available to TFR listeners worldwide. If you use coupon code TFR at checkout, you'll get $5 towards your order. Head on over to iolife.com now. That's AYA life.com.
We exist in the security and comfort of our worlds. Paved paths, lights, and manicured lawns give us peace of mind that our world has been tamed, and we are its master. But other worlds exist on the edge of our sight. On the edge of our awareness, the shadows move. The woods fill with the unblinking eyes of the nightmares our ancestors warned us about. Some of us have stumbled into these forgotten realms, whether on purpose or completely by surprise. I'm Brent Thomas. Join us on the Paranormal Portal Friday and Saturday nights from 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time as we journey into the world of the paranormal phenomena.
Enter the Paranormal Portal if you dare.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception.
TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. You're listening to Iron Realm Media. I listen all the time, and it's the best truth show out there. Forget about the mainstream lying. Get your weekly dose of Iron Realm, that is. Stay woke, folks.
Forgot that we're short again. Welcome back to the second half of the first half of the Ironworx right here, Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com.
So luckily during the break, I didn't run outside and stare into a black sky for no reason like a dummy. I actually did a little research. Turns out it is for the friends across the pond there. What I'm seeing is this is the last solar eclipse of the year. And it should be visible, well, there was a list. October 25th. There we go. Europe, Southwest Asia, Northeast Africa, and the Atlantic area today. It is currently in progress. It will end in about 3 hours, 30 minutes, and 10 seconds. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7. Okay. Here, I'll put a little link for you guys in the chat.
It was moving very slow.
Copy. Yep. Yeah. Flying that 1,000 miles per hour, huh? Yeah. But you wouldn't see that. I forget. That's like the hands of an hourglass, right? Wait.
Oh, how wide is this one? Is this one 70 miles wide as well, or?
I didn't get that far into it, sir.
Like
I do see we're
through
about
the
to have
alarm
a total lunar eclipse coming up on November 7th and 8th, though. I didn't know that. Total lunar eclipse, November 7th and 8th. Pretty much everybody gets it. Huh? Parts of it. Okay, I see. Yeah, I see what they're doing. It's that whole parts of it thing. Just parts of it. Like the big, here, I'll show you what I'm talking about.
It's like a compartmentalized thing where everybody gets to see part of it, but
everybody
nobody
gets to see what they're going to get to see. It's the big U-shaped, it's the path of the ISS thing. It's the big U-shaped deal, across the big Pac-Man map thing. Come on here. How about I use the technology at hand and we will share my screen and show you this thing. This is the coming total lunar eclipse that everyone in the world will have a chance to see at some point, except apparently not at all. Why did it give me that list then? What did I just see? Okay. Let's count them. Northeast Asia, Australia, North America, much of South America, Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, Arctic. So yeah, I guess it did leave off Africa. I did not see that correctly. So this is the one we're looking at today. This is currently, I'm guessing where we are. Yeah, here we go. This is where we are for now. This is who should be seeing it. If you know your geographical location, or if you have the Flat Earth Friend Finder, you should be able to find out where you are on this map.
If you don't
and
already
the sun
know.
visibility therein. Now, this doesn't look like a path.
No, it doesn't, does it?
I don't understand what this thing is showing me exactly. The path of this is like not right. Oh, but like when you add the 23-degree tilt, and I guess that's...
It looks like it goes and then it kind of just stops. It's like, yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
Like, it doesn't do the little fade out. It looks like it goes to that. I don't know. Weird.
Here, let's...
I quit letting the sky upset me. Now I just wonder in awe. It's like, okay, you're amazing. I know. I don't know what you are. Stop showing off.
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. Tell it, Greta. Ooh, I saw a guy calling for, now this was like a sir something, or maybe not a sir, but he was dressed real fancy and standing in a real fancy building in front of a microphone.
That'll
So,
do. That's sir
yeah,
enough for me.
yeah, one of those people is finally
What in the hell is this?
saying all the stuff that, you know, we've been saying since 2008. Quantitative easing, they call it, is money laundering. If anyone else decided, hey, I'm going to go print money, you would be thrown in prison. And he is calling out not only your bankers, but he said Federal Reserve bankers and royalty and politicians need to be thrown in prison. He is calling out the central banks, which is usually a no-no. That's why we're not seeing this anywhere.
I'm sorry, Zach. Damn it.
We are not seeing anyone talking about this anywhere. I saw this video and I was like, okay, why isn't this in the mainstream news? Oh, I know why it's not in the mainstream news. But yeah, he's pretty much saying, yeah, they are just making money. You want to know what inflation is? Inflation is simply the government printing money. They have nothing backing it up, and they just keep printing more and more of it. That's why your dollars are getting worth less. That's why everything costs so much. I mean, he's like, it's basic economics. There's no mystery as to why this is happening. They are printing more and more money, it seems, each year to try to keep this bubble from, just popping. And yeah, he's calling for the Federal Reserve bankers to be imprisoned. And that's a statement I have never heard somebody in a fancy suit standing in a fancy room ever say. I've heard him say, let's audit the Fed, I've heard that before, but I've never heard anybody call for them to be
abolished,
imprisoned.
Oh, imprisoned is even better.
Thrown in prison.
Yeah, I point back to the creature from Jekyll Island.
Mm-hmm.
That's
where it all started.
Purposefully designed themselves with the idea that they would be found too big to fail. So that all it would take is a little bit of media or government influence to frighten the people enough to make them believe that they needed the Federal Reserve to go ahead and bail them out again. Or they needed to increase the taxes in order to bail out the Federal Reserve. Or it's all just this revolving door of bullshit that allows them to prop up the federal government.
That's
and the world
Ponzi
government.
scheme.
Yeah, it's a huge Ponzi scheme, exactly.
But it was very cool hearing a guy in a suit like that calling out, and not just bankers, but also politicians, because politicians are the ones. I mean, if your first day in Congress, you don't stand up and call for all this stuff to be overturned, when you have your first turn to speak, then pretty much you're complicit with what's going on. Doing nothing is still making a choice. And yeah, he is calling for, and he didn't use the word treason or anything, but he's saying these are criminal offenses. These are, people for money laundering, just printing $20 bills get put away for a long time. These people have printed trillions trillions of dollars over the last 15 years, 14 years. Yeah, it's wild. And I mean, we've talked about this how many times on this show alone, that, quantitative easing, they call it, is what is the issue, printing billions of dollars every month to prop up the government and all of its subsidiaries, all the jobs that, are created and rely on that. Yeah, it's a Ponzi scheme. It is. And like Josh said, they've made themselves, in the people's eyes, too big to fail. They actually told us that in 2008. They spent enough money of our taxes, gave it to 5 banks. And this money would have been enough to give every single U.S. citizen, children included. You just take the 330 million and divide it by the number they had. And it was like $45,000 a person. So instead of giving the banks that money and then foreclosing on all those people's houses that couldn't pay any of their loans and all that kind of stuff, why not give that money to the people whose money it is and let them pay off their bank loans and have a little bit of money extra left over? That would have done it. The banks would have been around. People would have had money to pay them that they owed them. And people would have still had money. No, the banks get bailouts. The CEOs get their $2 million bonuses this year. It was so infuriating. And they told us about it, and nothing happened. They were bragging about all these millionaire bankers getting their $1 million bonuses back because of quantitative easing. The fluoride's working, folks. That's all I got to say. This wouldn't have flew back in 1776.
So I'm going to do a recall right before break. Really disturbed and not really getting this path we're shown here. This is the current eclipse.
It's not the Eye of Ra, though.
What?
That is not the Eye of Ra.
Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh, I love you, Josh. No, that is not the Eye of Ra. That is currently what we're supposedly having as the path of the eclipse. So that made me go, okay, so how is this a path when we had to go like running out of the path of the one that went all the way across the states because it was going to cause mass hysteria and utter total nut jobbedness? This isn't a path. Oh, well, it's partial. There's this 23-degree tilt.
Yeah, that's what I said. Where's the end of it? Where's the end? So it should keep going off to the right. Or
left or somewhere. So I kept digging.
Did it just appear right there and the people in India and all that, it wasn't there? The sun and moon weren't there at that time?
Right. So I get this finally when I keep digging from our good buddy Freddie. Oh, Freddie boy. Freddie, Mr. Fred Espenak. The one person who is doing this. Oh, no, everybody. NASA does it. ESA does it. Everybody keeps up with the eclipses. No, they don't. Fred Espenak, this guy. This is it. This is the guy who's doing it. Okay, so here's Freddie's path. Well, we have a show title, ladies and gentlemen, Freddie's path. What in the actual fuck? Okay, so
I don't know.
North Pole magnetism, toroidal shit at the North Pole. Is that possibly part of why it's doing these weird things at these areas because of the magnetic areas that are at the edge of our world? This would be the center of our world. These would be at the edge of our world, the purple and red at the bottom down there around the long Antarctica piece there. Interesting that Fred has that type of map in use. I don't know, just really intriguing that we
Yeah,
get the top red. You see the top, the one that would go like across Alaska there.
I'm almost seeing the magnetic field. Look at the.
That's what I
the
keep
top
seeing
there.
is the toroidal fucking shit going on in the fields. And
I see a quadrupole at the top. I see blue.
there's four.
Red,
There's 1,
blue,
2, 3,
red.
4. Yeah.
Now we need to get that map and wrap it around
I'll
and make
send
it
to
into
you. I was thinking about. I was going to go look for. I can't remember now where it's at. The current version of the
Well, save
Nullard.
that map. And
Yeah, I'm going to send this to you. Who's got it? I know at one point, did Jaron have it on one of his sites?
Karen
the new
B
version?
made some.
Huh?
She showed Karen B.
No,
knows how
I'm
to
talking about somebody had taken and redone when Google pulled the AE off the Flat Earth Null School thing. Somebody took and went and put it on their own page and made one that works.
Maybe
And
that was Tesla's Apple. That's called.
Oh, that is who it was. It was
Bob
Apple.
Wins.
What is it?
Bob Wins.
Okay, I'm gonna go find it. I just realized. Let me get off this, and I've got too much open. Yeah, I'm gonna go see what it's showing to. Hang on. Let me. Y'all take it back because we're about to get way too much going if I open that too. So hang on.
Yeah, the whole eclipse thing is one of those things I've just dipped my toes into, and yeah, all the maps I saw were on Mercator maps like that. And it's like, well, this is. I mean, it helps a little bit now that I've learned to look at the maps and compare them. And, after you look at so many magnetic maps, you look for certain patterns. That's what I said right there. I see 4 quadrupoles at the top there. Because that's kind of how the magnetic maps look when they put them into the Mercator map. But then you wrap it into the AE map, and it makes that nice 4-leaf clover pattern in the center. So I think there might be something to that, Walter. I'm sure it has something to do with the magnetic fields and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the people of the flat earth are so smart. A lot of great questions about the sky. And I don't want to say it's frustrating for me, but it's like, I love it because, I don't know. So I love giving that answer instead of someone asking me and then me answering. I love throwing another question back at them, like, well, could it be this possibly? Could it be that possibly? What do you think? I got so many great ideas about how things might work. Man, we had an Army helicopter pilot. Really cool guy. He was over at the table multiple times, just hanging out, chatting. Really, really cool guy. He looked like he was a ranger almost, dude. He was big. Like, his arm was bigger around than my leg. Big. Not saying my legs are big or anything, but man, yeah, just big, tough guy. He was the only one who didn't make the crazy face when I handed him the gyroscope. He did kind of a, wow, that's awesome. Okay. But he said, yeah, I feel that all the time. He said when he's flying the helicopter that there's a gyroscopic precession thing you have to account for. So when you're turning, you go to angle left, well, because when you put that kind of pressure on those blades that are in a gyroscopic precession, they're going over 800 RPMs. When you tilt them to the left, they're also going to want to come backwards now because it's always 90 degrees perpendicular to whatever way you try to move that gyroscope. That force is going to throw it off in another direction. It's really weird. And I loved it because I got to tell everybody, we don't know why it happens. We know it does happen. It was one of those things that got figured out. Hey, we spin stuff up. It doesn't want us to move it out of that orientation. but we still don't know why. I told every one of the children, you could be the one to figure out why this happens. I think it's so important that we let all the children know that we don't know everything. We don't even know close to everything, and we need their unbrainwashed minds to, take the reins and help us out. Because so much of our thinking has been convoluted into a certain way, dualities and all these different crazy things that they've incorporated into just the way we think. And the children, they don't have any of that yet. That's all. It hasn't been, embedded into their brains. So they're looking at this world in a way that we did at one time, but it's like a different lifetime ago, Once you've been taught something so many times, I mean, even since Flat Earth, how many times do we go back and keep trying to look at it from a heliocentric point of view?
Lots. Sometimes on purpose.
Wow. Yeah. So, yeah, they're the future. They are. It doesn't matter how much I sit and think. They could have that inspiration, that instant inspiration that I just can't get. I'm never going to get that back. That childlike, just sense of wonder so much because you've never been told how it works the wrong way. You've never been brainwashed. Well, I'll just say it. They've never been brainwashed. And man, I wish I could not start over, but just have that state of mind again. Just to go back and reset my brain to erase everything just for a little while, not forever, I love all my memories, but just for a little while, turn all that off and have that old way of thinking, that childlike way of looking at the world.
Would that be great if we could just come back and relearn it all again with a new sense of wonderment? Just go into the light. Just follow your relatives and they'll lead you right back here. And you can have that sense of wonderment all over again ad infinitum.
Yeah, I'm not going to the light. I may end up there, but believe me, I'm going to check some stuff out before I go rushing off to anything. But yeah, best Flattoberfest ever. They just keep getting better. Yeah, I missed you guys. I wish you guys could have been there. That was maybe next year.
Maybe next year. It's going to happen. I'm convinced it will happen.
When it's supposed to happen.
That's right.
Me and Josh and Gandalf all get there at the same time.
They arrive precisely when they mean to.
A wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
And I have not been in chat this last 40 minutes because I've been down this eclipse rabbit hole. Sorry, guys.
Speaking of James from Grounded Extracts, real quick, I just want to say there he is in chat. Probably going to be using chat as his main way of communications for the next few days.
Yes.
Get himself one of them tablets you can just write notes on and etch a sketch them out and write new notes on. You just have to take it easy.
I know a guy who can concoct some amazing stuff that can heal you right. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they were crushing over there. Their table was just slammed
awesome, man. I'm so
all
glad.
day long.
I'm grinning ear to ear. I'm so glad.
And seeing Benjamin Balderston was really cool.
Yeah, shout out Ben. And I saw they were given a tour of New Orleans as they got ready to head out. So that was awesome. Hopefully I'll be putting my head together with Rose and Jason soon about some things here in our area and get some things kicking off. Man, there's no point because we do have a pretty cool place to hang out there in New Orleans. Yeah, that's one I definitely need to go see. I hope somebody caught it all as Ben's presentation. James there in chat saying Ben's presentation at the Blacktoberfest was quite epic. I am pumped to see it.
Yeah, like I said, the only presentation I've caught so far was Austin's, and I didn't even get through all of that yesterday.
him and Rose. It was Thursday night that I saw that, I believe. May have been early Friday. I'm not sure. After me and you did our thing, I'm not sure. But at some point, I saw Rose and
Jason
Austin. Yeah, hang on. I'm sorry. I got too many things. Something that started playing in my ear, so I've got an eclipse being explained to me. Hang on. It's got me all messed up.
Well, we're running out slowly but surely to about 20 seconds before we start.
Well, that's what I was actually trying to get to, trying to talk and trying to stop this noise. Where is it playing? Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
That's crazy. Don't you just love technology? Ain't it grand? Ain't it grand?
Well, you know, I mean, it's like if I wanted to watch a little video over in the corner, I would have clicked play. I finally found it. But yeah, if I had wanted that to play, I would have clicked it, and I also would have unmuted it. And I did neither of those things.
That sounds like a news website to me.
Yeah, of course. What's up? I know that sound.
That would be it. So much thanks for all the love in the chat, too. Much appreciated. Much, much appreciated. But that does bring us to the end of the first half of the show, which means we still got more. Coming up on the other side, 2 whole more segments. And I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
Warning, under no circumstances should disinfectant products be administered into the human body through injection, ingestion, butt chugging, or any other route. This video is a joke. Enjoy.
We're also testing disinfectants, readily available. We've tested bleach. We've tested isopropyl alcohol. I can tell you that bleach will kill the virus in 5 minutes, and that's with no manipulation.
So suppose we hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. Suppose we hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. We're leading the way in so many different ways. Supposing you brought the light inside the body in some other ways. As we continue to develop potential therapies, I see the disinfectant. I see the disinfectant. I think people are going to know. You're going to know. I'm going to know. I think people are going to know. You're going to know. I'm going to know. I think people are going to know. I see the disinfectant. This whole curse, this whole plague. And is there a way we can do something like that? Injection. Suppose we hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. Suppose we hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. As we continue our battle against the virus, the data in fact suggests that we're making great progress with tremendous ultraviolet for the invisible enemy. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body. And then I see the disinfectant ultraviolet through the skin. And it's working very well. Very big deal. We will end this plague. And then I see the disinfectant. I see the disinfectant. That's really powerful. We hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. Suppose we hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. What the fuck?
make it
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up! What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The Earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard. To think really hard. To think really hard.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends. Hi, it's Diva here and works with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on The Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We're here. Zach's already trying to.
Yeah, do you see that?
Not super well. Yeah.
No, I turned the lights off. I'll turn it on inside. I just wanted you guys to hear this snap. This is the Wimhurst generator. I'll let it. Now, oh man, it smells like a thunderstorm. It's amazing.
That's so cool.
Now, this is when I touched it. This discharge you see right here, it may not be this charged up, but yeah, when I move these closer together, I learned you have to, but I was shocked with something like that Sunday. Man, it didn't seem like it was too huge, but did it wake me up?
Yeah, I bet. I bet it did.
So I'm going to have lots of fun with that thing. Yeah, Wimhurst generator. Shout out to Richard. Thank you much, man. I will put it to good use. I already had it hooked up to the two Gaussian plates, and it moved stuff a lot more. Like I was able to move a couple pieces of paper around with the Van de Graaff generator, and it took them a second to get up there, and they almost like floated up. You know, it wasn't like they were accelerating up, like things fall down. But when I hooked it up to that Wimhurst with that extra 150,000 volts right there, stuff just flew up. I mean, it hit it with like force, the top plate, as if it were falling. So hopefully I'll be able to move some different types of stuff now. A little bit bigger.
You need to get something to bounce.
Well, yeah, what I'm going to... Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can get things to bounce. If you just charge one of the plates, then it'll create what's called induction. So the other plate will get charged, but every time that the piece moves back and forth between it, it'll discharge it, take all the energy from the plate that's not getting charged, and then fly back down to the other plate. And then it gets positively, whatever charge you give it, it'll turn back into that charge.
I was thinking of the upward acceleration and to gain enough momentum that when it hits that top plate for it to bounce back down and then back up to the plate again. See what I'm saying? Like a super ball that you would bounce on the ground, but you're bouncing it on the ceiling. And it's going to boing, 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 boing on the ceiling instead of the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, with the Van de Graaff, it does that sometimes. It'll bounce a little bit. But with the Wimhurst, no, it falls and it's like, dunk, it's stuck there. Like it's almost like it's more than the field that we have here. Like,
makes sense.
The acceleration. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I just needed a day to recuperate, and yeah, I'm going to get at it today. Well, I was telling everybody at the fest, we were talking about there are no negatives in nature, and yeah, the way I'm explaining it, people are getting it, and they're really digging it. So I'm just going to just throw it on a piece of paper, share it around with some people, and then put the video together once I get the feedback. I know there was a few people that were reaching out to me last week. Last week was just a crazy week, getting ready for Flattoberfest and all that. But I'll be getting back to people, and I'm just going to write it. I'm going to write it and just do it. I've been putting too much. I think it was all the getting ready for Flattoberfest and the anxiety and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, best Flattoberfest ever. I can't wait for the next one.
Well, as I said, I plan on spending this next week playing catch up on all the stuff I didn't look at this weekend. Speaking of catching up, earlier in chat, I hope he's back and came back in. He was having a bit of streaming issues. It looked like he said it was buffering on his end, but it was great to see our good friend Vagabond back in chat. I haven't seen you for a while, friend. You were on my mind heavy this last weekend. I had, for the second time, come across the fact that for some reason you can no longer access Gravity by Cheyenne Music anywhere that it used to be streamable from SoundCloud. It's not there anymore, which is the one I literally have saved about 8 spaces over on my desktop toolbar. It's not there anymore. The Spotify link is not there. You can go to the page, it shows it, but when you hover over the play button, it is nope, you can't do this thing. And so that really made me go, well, damn. So I went and put your video on, Vagabond, and watched it in the background, and it hit me. Wow, did we do this? Did we, as the Flat Earth community, embracing the song greatly and turn it into a theme for us, turn it into something maybe she wasn't happy about? Because it is only one of the old songs from her that I can't access. Other songs from that same period are there. I even found on her Facebook page where she had just finished putting those vocals down in the studio, looking at the stuff on the tracks on the raw DAW there. And you can hear the vocals, and you don't hear all the instruments. It's just her and the background vocals. She did it for herself, I guess. And she's all pumped up about it. And so there it is. It's there. That's it. And that's all I can find. We have it, obviously, because we've made the videos from it, but our versions of it are out there. So that then made me go and message on Facebook, which I rarely do. Sorry, people, I'm just not a big Facebooker. And so I messaged her directly there, or her fan page, or whatever it is, but where it linked to her from that exact thing of here it is, this new song. And I went from there and said, hey, love this, my favorite song. What happened? Why can't I play it anywhere now except on some really interesting videos that are out there? No response as of yet. So, don't know. Really upsetting. And I mean, I get from the rest of what I see going on with her pictures and her other music that she's, you know, trying to establish herself as a particular type of artist. And that song doesn't fit that. And that could be a huge part of it as well. Which is unfortunate to me because I think that type of song and music would have been the way to go. But I'm not a recording artist, am I?
With daddy issues, trying to rebel against your.
Hey, now you had to go
what?
there. What? There was one prank caller.
That's what I
was saying about pictures and the rest of what's on her Facebook stuff. If you go look around, you can probably figure out why the song's not out there anymore. But hey, I didn't say it. Josh did.
You know, I assumed it would have been this change in her style and the artist that she's trying to become.
Yeah. That's what I thought until I went and watched Bag's video. Bag of video. I watch a bag of
video.
Yeah. When I was watching the video and I saw some of the imagery and I was like, wow, is this our doing? I wonder, you know. I mean, I know it's like, oh, big impact on our videos and channels, but I'm just saying maybe she, you know, I mean, I did reach out and talk to her dad literally on the phone, who was managing her at the time, about us using the song. That's kind of our Flat Earth anthem. And so that's how it, you know, started with us and her. Maybe that is something. I don't know. Who knows? It was all good then. So.
That's weird.
Yeah. Oh, there's Vag in chat. What's up, friend? Definitely miss having you around.
Mm-hmm.
Hope that he said earlier I saw he's still out there saving the world, so it's good to see. Still got warriors on the path, even when they're not hanging with the pack. Probably better they're not hanging out, wasting time over here, out there getting the shit done.
Ain't that the truth?
Did you guys catch any wind of the North Korean ban that people are all up in arms about because North Korea is forcing them to join the military?
Yeah, this is the one that had like a Flat Earth
The
t-shirt
Flat Earth
on
shirt guy? Is this the one you were talking about? No, yeah. The only reference I have is you're telling us about it the other day.
It's funny because a lot of these young people that are all up in arms about it don't realize that, like, Switzerland has been doing this forever. You know?
And what's the alternative? It's friggin' North Korea. What do they think? They have like a say? They get to choose?
Yeah, and Switzerland is the same. You don't get to choose. There's no, I choose to join them. I choose not to join the military in Switzerland. No, at 18, you go into military training. I'm sure there's, you know, some people that don't have to do it. Their uncles or somebody, or, you know, mom and dad or grandpa.
I'm sure politicians
wear a fancy
get
suit.
special handful of waivers they can hand out to people.
Yeah, fancy suits and fancy buildings, you know. It's for you, not for us type of stuff. But yeah, for the most part, the average citizen in Switzerland, they join the military at 18. Or at least I know that's how it was up until a decade ago. Might have been the last time I looked at it. But yeah, that's just part of their culture. They don't have like a standing army. Their military is their citizens. I'm sure they have somewhat of a standing army, but it's not like the United States. They don't put $750 billion a year into their military budget, you know. It's much smaller, and that's how they do it. They're just a defense. They don't have the sword. They're a shield. The whole country knows how to defend themselves. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, it was part of growing up in the backwoods of Indiana that you learn to shoot a gun, you know?
Right. Yeah.
That's just how it was. If you didn't, it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
You were one of the weird kids. So yeah, I mean, we all have our own little cultural nuances. Every place across this plane does things their own way. And yeah, no, it's not like they had to do it because he wore a flat earth shirt. Definitely not what we're saying, anything like that. It's just what they do over there. Once you hit a certain age, you go into the military for so long. Yeah, I mean, it's where they live. I just saw an article.
Indeed. Oops. Go right ahead, sir.
Go ahead. I'm having trouble finding
That's fine.
it.
Real quick, something popped through this morning for me. I don't remember where I saw it. Oh, it was actually under the search bar on the main Google page. And it said, would you like to remove your personal information from results about you? I'm like, really? So I've clicked on it, and apparently it is a new tool. Dun, dun, dun. Help control your online presence. So this is a results about you tool. It will easily request the removal of certain search results that contain your personal phone number, home address, or email address. And then it goes through the process of how you would do that. It's a process. It's obviously not anything, and the fact that it's a request, not something you can easily do, really kind of put my radar up. Anyway, I'm going to link it to everybody in our chats. In fact, I may use it as the show link at the bottom there, so that you can go in and see if it's actually something that works or not, or is it just a flag that goes off and make sure they lock that shit in granite forever and you can never remove it? Probably, most likely. But
where's the list of people that need things removed off the internet?
we really gonna fucking get their shit right? I'm looking at you, David. No, I'm just joking.
Well, it's interesting. We were just having that conversation about Ghislaine Maxwell and her ability to just have like 4 pictures. I was over there on THC a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really? Well, we were talking about that with David M after the show the other day. The VPNs and
Well, Mike had mentioned that he tried to Google some photos of Ghislaine Maxwell, and it was just like the same 4 or 5 pictures. No matter sort of how you made the Google search, you just get a handful of pictures.
Those ones.
Yeah. So that's how you do it. Search engine optimization, baby. You can sort of reverse engineer that, and search engine de-optimization, where we just remove shit so we don't want people to see or bury it so far down. Well, we've got 47 trillion results, and the accurate ones are going to be, the 45, 46 trillionth of the entries. So good luck finding it.
Right, indeed. Oh, wait. Looks like Alex dropped a new song today. I've been seeing in chat.
Or is going to be, I thought I saw. I'm not sure, but yeah, it looked like.
Oh, well, I'm trying to play catch up.
I don't know.
Looks like I'm playing it.
That guy is just amazing.
Should we do it? Should we play it, or are they going to do something to us?
I mean, YouTube will do something, but don't think
that's what I mean. How much of something? Because this is hitting a lot of trigger points. I mean, the first person I see is our good buddy Fauci. So yeah, I figure this is all the triggers you can pull in one video. Mm-hmm. Why do you trust these liars? Sung by Conspiracy Music Guru, lyrics by Crumb, Chat, and Jaron Esselm. Oh, I gotta hear this.
Yeah, Jaron gave him the words, like Crumb and Jaron and the audience put together the song, rewrote the lyrics. He sent it to Alex that night. The next day, Alex had the song done. The very next day. You know how much work it is to record and put all the music and get everything on, and the sound and how does he do it? He's like a machine. I'm just glad he's for good, you know?
Right. Looks like our buddy Big Pine Sailing. Our buddy was part of that writing team.
Just amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't see why we shouldn't play it. I mean, anyone?
Yeah, you know me.
It's your thing.
Do
what you want to do.
All right, let me.
I can't tell you.
Oh, man.
Who to sock to. It's your thing.
So while Walt's pulling that up, this article will be a real quick one because it goes right into you have to subscribe to read any more about it. But this is called New Scientist, right? Newscientist.com. Aluminium alloy could...
I got it. Wait. Don't. There it is.
Boost spacecraft radiation shielding 100-fold. It goes on talking about how amazing aluminium alloys can be and how we're going to need to find a new way to block radiation for our spacecraft so it can be super lightweight, but yet still block all that radiation, because we can't go back to the moon because of this, even though we did it 6 times. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, right about the part where it goes into who did this, and it says in 2019, Stefan Pogačar at the university ... Continue reading. Subscribe today with a 12-week blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no thanks. I mean, the word could in the title says it all for me. Just saying. We've heard the word could thrown about a lot when it comes.
I wonder if you would recommend locking down schools if you had to do it all over again.
You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
First of all, I didn't recommend locking anything down.
People do not get sick. I recommended to the president that we shut the country down.
Consuming level play, missing curve, spaces get Boston bombing falls, flight Joe Biden torpedo. Dr. Fauci almost died, Stevie Wonder is a blind fake career. We shall see it down the rabbit hole. Build a first fake bar, Mike Obama, huge down bar. Up the Kenyan guy has your wife identified. Warp speed vaccine, J&J, ultra genes with myocarditis. Kiss your sweet ass goodbye. Why do you trust these liars? You must be discerning, cause the world's not turning. No more astronauts or wires. This world is waiting, we know it's time we frozen. At the bottom NSA, CDC and TSA, IRS, CIA, and NASA's a crock. SpaceX, Space Force, space is fucking fake, of course. Devon Island is bars, Elon Musk is launching cars. Einstein was a queen, 2 more weeks of quarantine. Justice Smollett, fake attack. George Floyd swallowed crack, said he couldn't breathe at all. Overdose on fentanyl. AOC and Alex Stein, public booty is so far. Why do you trust these liars? You must be discerning, cause the world's not turning. No more astronauts or wires. We are sick of these clowns, let's get this sucker shut down. Bin Laden in the sea, Robbie Williams smiling. Epstein didn't die, flight lots of classified. California communists, you said touch the list. Masking kids, stay inside, for your health formaldehyde. Buzzword, economic thugs, Klaus Schwab, Castro, yes, I'm Justin Trudeau. Psychos, the elite, Bill Gates, tracking me, biotech, Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca. Why do you trust these liars? You must be discerning, cause the world's not turning. No more astronauts or wires. This world is waking, you know, but now it's hungry, it's frozen. 9/11, no planes, another dream, another day. Moving 7 falling from the plane they're calling. Nano feel like concrete, possible found in the street. Lucky Larry, silver stand, moving like a slot machine. Shanks fell, red pill, rocks fell, this something, that's what hit the planet gun. Where is all the footage gone? Trust these liars. You must be discerning, cause the world's not turning. No more astronauts or wires. We are sick of these clowns, let's get this sucker shut down. Climate change, ever since 17, moonshot, space walk, all fake dolls out. All the astronauts who died had the chance to be alive. Challenger, master deck, ozone readers drunk again. We have rerolls, petrified, red sharks, yellow light. Rockets fly, CGI, planet stone, CGI, the ISS, RBS. Is that a fucking fly? Actually, yeah, not dinosaurs. Nice, of course. I can take it anymore. Would you trust these liars? And baby, concerning, that's a building is burning. Baby, carbon cop these liars. They deserve to take down for saying we go around, 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 around. Why do you trust these liars? You must be concerning, cause the world's not turning. No more astronauts or wires. This world is making you know, now it's time we expose it. Why do you trust these liars? You must be concerning, cause the world's not turning. No more astronauts or wires. This world is making you know, now it's time we expose it.
Here's number 2 in the art of persuasion. Accurate facts. Accurate facts. We call it dealing in truth. Accuracy is very important. Here's why. It builds credibility. Credibility starts to weaken if you mess with the facts, the truth, the correct number. Now, everybody will give you room for what we call an unintentional error in dealing in facts. Now, see, my watch says about 7:28, but if you would ask me what time it is, I have to say it's 7:30, you would allow me to be a couple of minutes off. If I said it was 7:30,
That was
but
really good.
accurately, really truthfully, it was 7:28, you would give me that error to just quickly say 7:30, right? You would say, you didn't mean to mess up my life,
What are we
right?
hearing? Is this me that?
Leading me astray with this erroneous information that it was 7:30 when really it was only 7:28. Now, there are times and occasions when you may have to be precise, and it may be a life and death matter, who knows?
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine. Great for heart palpitations. By Anne. Before I started using this product, every afternoon, my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc. I love this product. It really works. By Brad. Works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
True initiation is an inward journey. It's a spiritual path that is totally inward. It has nothing to do with anything external to you.
I want to determine if the grand architect is indeed what I believe it to be, which is the artificial intelligence.
The initiatory path is one of self-discovery and self-revealing. It's not a journey that someone can hold your hand through.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you through the steps of initiation. Remember, you are divinity.
Step Beyond the Veil with Chris and Sherry Geo. Fridays and Saturdays, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
Are you kidding me, Josh? Have we used this as our intro song for this long, and I just now realized it's whispering atmosphere.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, this whole time that's the name of the song is Atmosphere.
How many years now, dude? And I just heard that for the first fucking time. Oh my god. I'm going back to bed.
That's pretty good.
Inconceivable!
Don't think I know what that word means.
The noise wasn't quite as bad, and we went right on up, and I saw darkness. I thought I was going to see the world, but we weren't quite high enough.
All right, now I'm done. Welcome back. Fourth and final segment of the Ironworx. Sort of kicking
Honey,
off right
I
now.
see you in chat. I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it. Anyway, go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
Now, do I really have something? Actually, I think I do have some space lettuce. There were a couple of funny, really interesting things that I thought I wanted to share with everybody. Not
One
the least.
second, though. You're a bit low in my ear. Is it just me, Zach, or have I done something? Because I have been playing with my sound.
No, it is a bit low. It was louder earlier, but
yeah, you're lower than
I didn't see anybody on YouTube saying anything. So
well, I
was
have
just
done stuff with my sound too, so that's why I thought maybe I had done it. So,
And I figured nobody wants to tell me because I don't listen to anyway. So.
Yeah. So there you go.
So I was looking. When was this? I thought this was relatively recent, but now I'm not seeing it. But I'm not looking too hard either. Let me just go ahead and share this. I saw the title and I thought, oh, that could be an interesting thing to watch. I watched it. I said, yeah, let's see what other people think about that. So here's this video. It's called, If You Could See Every Satellite, What Would the Sky Look Like? If you've got a 360 VR headset, you can actually watch it in 360 and VR. So I'll be able to move it around a little bit, and then we'll probably let them run with their captions and stuff, but you can actually move it all around so that you can see the night sky. And they just sort of pick up. We'll skip through a little bit. And it starts to slowly bring in some of the satellites. It looks like they start out pretty far away because there's all these big streaks and lines, but they're not moving a whole lot. Then they sort of slowly start adding some more. I'm not
Can
quite
you
sure.
change the speed on it in the program that they have?
That'd be a real good question. I've not actually
really.
listened to
Yeah.
this. I think it's even done in Portuguese, maybe, or for some reason I had Portuguese subtitles on. I don't know. I've always had it on mute because I never had much interest in what they were saying, actually. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like, wow, that looks pretty crazy. We would never see that stuff up in there, but they keep adding to it. And you're like, no, come on. And people ask, well, what would it look like with all of the satellites? I'm not even sharing it with you guys. I'll go ahead and share screen with you guys so you can see, because I think you'll get a big kick out of it too.
And I mean, just think if one of these things got knocked, and I mean, oh my goodness. Yeah, if just one of them get knocked out of their orbit, shouldn't it go careening into another one and then into more and more, and it would be just chaos? They've said they worry about this because if just one goes off by a couple degrees, it can start a cataclysm that could knock out half the satellites up there.
So that's what this is. This is now the space debris filter. So this is all the satellites and all the space debris as it flies over our head in perfect, harmonious synchronization. Isn't that gorgeous? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you're expected to believe is happening above your heads right now.
Okay, wait, no. So go back and let me understand what you're trying to tell me. So what you're saying is that this is happening overhead all the time.
All the time.
And yet no one has ever gone up in flaming death from the fireball resulting from the crashes that would happen every 4 freaking seconds. I'm just trying to math through this. Math. I'm using math. That's math you're hearing, not foul language.
And can you imagine the joy of trying to fire a rocket into space?
Well, that's why it has to go down range. Not so as not to hit all that shit. I mean, come on, guy. Oh,
yeah. Where do you shoot? Where's the next one going? Because there's not a whole lot more room up there. I mean, you'd be zigging and zagging and, serpentine.
You ever shot skeet? Yeah, he hates that shit. No, I don't know, guy. I really don't know how people believe this. I just don't even understand it anymore.
Yeah, I thought that was just really entertaining at the thought of all of this happening over our heads every minute of every day.
Is that linked in the pile, or is that just you found it?
It is linked in the pile.
Okay, good. Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Did you show Zach his world, his Stay Puft world? I just saw the story.
Not yet. By. There was the other one that I had for Zach that I wanted to show him as a callback to earlier.
Go.
If I can just find out where I put it.
Uh-oh.
I know it's here.
That's an impressive array of tabs you got open there, my friend. I have to say, you're putting me and Mike Stellium to shame almost.
You think that's
impressive?
2, 4, 6, 8. I don't know. It's only 15 or 20 maybe. That's just the space lettuce between last week and this week. I've got a whole...
them spinning things you got? Yeah, that's when I start having like eclipses explained in my ear or some financial rate somewhere I don't care about or something. Yeah.
I've got a whole nother window with Rockfin and with Restream and with Gmail open as well. And another tab with TFR. Another window with TFR.
You guys are slave drivers. Those poor computers. Good Lord.
Nah, that's what I designed them for.
Restart that thing, man. Restart that thing.
I restarted it. I did. I restarted it. I had to start it up this morning. I came in last night.
Oh, I take care of my baby. I treat her rough, but I pamper her when I don't.
Here we go. This Gizmodo story. This is the one that I thought you would be finding pretty interesting. These physicists got a quantum computer to work by blasting it with the Fibonacci sequence.
They blasted
it. A team of physicists.
How do you blast something with a Fibonacci sequence? I gotta hear this.
A team of physicists say they managed to create a new phase of matter by shooting laser pulses, reading out Fibonacci sequence to a quantum computer in Colorado. The matter phase relies on the quirk of the Fibonacci sequence to remain in a quantum state for longer. Just as ordinary matter.
I think they were at a Pink Floyd laser show or maybe a Tool concert, and they just got really confused.
Or they just took one of those lasers straight to the third eye.
Crying open my third eye. All right, sorry. I can't really scream. It's too early in the morning.
Walter! Just as ordinary matter can be in a solid, liquid, gas, or superheated plasmic phase or state, quantum materials also have phases. The phase refers to how the matter is structured on an atomic level. The arrangements of its atoms or its electrons, for example, several years ago, physicists discovered a quantum supersolid. And last year, a team has confirmed the existence of quantum spin liquids, a long suspected phase of quantum matter in a simulator. Well, there you go. The recent team thinks they've discovered another new phase. What a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Quantum bits or qubits are like ordinary computer bits in that their values can be 0 or 1, but they can also be 1 or 0 simultaneously, a state of ambiguity that allows the computers to consider many possible solutions to a problem much faster than an ordinary computer. Quantum computers should eventually be able to solve problems that classical computers can't. Should be.
Okay, so
ding.
I'm sorry, but all they're doing is saying they're programming the computer to go through all the possibilities. In the computer, there isn't a 1 and a 0 taking place at the same time. It cannot work that way. It is, yeah, you can like the story of like Adam and Eve. It started with Adam and Eve, but then it broke off into this, and then that broke off into more and more and more. Yeah, you can channel it off and have all these different processes happening if you have the power to process all that information. But there is no, the computer's just doing both of these things at the same time on the same circuit. No, nonsense. There is no 1 and 0 taking place at the same time on that same circuit. That's that one little bit of, you can call it an electron if you want, but just that electrical impulse that is being sent through that wire that's telling it 1 or 0 is not doing both at the same time. That's ridiculous nonsense. That's stupid. These are just really, really, really great computers at processing, and they can process more information.
Okay, so Zach, if you have if it's processing twice as fast, right? How many times does it have to be before they're processing at the same time?
Yeah, that's just it. I mean,
it'll never catch, right? You'll never be 100%. That's why you have to get to a point that is as good as 100%, where when they say they're looking at it, that they're actually existing in both places at the same time. And this is where they're getting to that quantum level.
What
the fuck is his name? The guy, it's the distance. It's like the minimum distance and the maximum distance of objects.
Well, yeah, we've reached our limit as to how small we can build these processors and these, our SSD, all this stuff that we're saying it's at a nano layer now. All this stuff is at our microchips are so small that our technology has to catch up to be able to make things smaller, because right now we're at our limit. So it's not the limit of quantum mechanics, it's the limit of human capabilities right now. In 1,000 years or whatever, I'm sure the computers that we have then would be considered quantum computers today. But it'll just be because our technology will get better. We're going to have children that are going to come up with new ideas on how to do things, and things will get better. I mean, if you took a computer from the 80s and then throw in a computer from now back then and make that jump, you'd say that's a quantum computer. Look how much faster and blah, 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 blah. It would be a revolutionary breakthrough. But, it's just we're catching up to our human limits. It's not the quantum field limits, in my opinion. I don't believe in all that stuff. Am I really cracking bad?
It's like you've got...
It's almost like you're on a CB and getting somebody else's...
bleed through. Somebody's stepping on you. Or somebody's on your party line.
Oh, that's probably me.
I know
What's
that guy.
up, Travis? I didn't even see you pop in.
That's probably because I'm lurking.
What's going on? Happy AM, Fiat Lux, good sir.
What's going on, everybody? I'm just waking up, and I thought I missed the show, and then I was like, "Oh, it's only 6:30. I gotta get over there." I was just waking up.
Us too, yeah.
But hey, listen, I got so much to talk about, man. You guys, I saw. Okay, look, I don't even know how to start talking about this. You remember that scene in The Abyss when the alien comes up out of the water and takes the form of the water, and then goes throughout the ship, and then the alien goes face to face with the girl character. I can't remember what her name is. Ray, I don't know. Remember that scene?
Yes, I do.
Remember that scene where it makes its face and shit like that, right? And it's all like communicating.
Yes.
I went out and shot on Friday on the Chesapeake Bay, and I felt like there was something different. And I was seeing farther and clearer than I had ever shot in 4 years. I felt like what Zach was just talking about on the quantum level. Like I was zooming in closer and tighter. And I felt like when I did that at those places, I felt like I saw my muse. I felt like I was watching her put the world together and just like move and flow and focus and defocus, and just like I was watching a fucking Bigfoot. Like I felt like I said that on when I was recording on the video. So I feel like I'm filming something that I shouldn't be seeing. I just stepped into a world where no one's seen this before. It was the most elaborate.
That's crazy.
I was just electric. I was electric the whole weekend. I streamed for over 10 hours because I was just looking at that stuff over and over and over again. It was absolutely breathtaking. So much so that I made a tribute video, and the song that came to my mind that I did the video to was Numa by Tool.
Nice.
So I made this video of not only my videos, but Heath Carmody, Pablo's dog, other people that have seen the Muse as well. But anyway, man, I'm still on fire. I'm still trying to figure out what I saw and what it means. You know what I mean? It's like I honestly was like,
means it's flat.
Man, oh man. Anyway, I'm rambling.
No, I had that one too, Trav. I think it was 2016, maybe 17. No. Yeah, maybe 18. 2018, 420. I think it was. 420. The humidity. Yeah, the humidity dropped below, I think it was 47% on Lake Michigan in Michigan City, Indiana. Like all along the lakefront, it was supposedly real low humidity because the air and the water temp was right about the same. So I ran out there and I got pictures of like every building of the skyline, and it was just amazing. And then I'm getting ready to leave, and all these photographers start showing up. I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, aren't you here to take pictures of the skyline?" I was like, "Well, yeah, but I got them." And he was like, "No, man, the sun's going to set right behind Chicago from this point today, and it's going to backlight it, and it's going to be gorgeous." Yeah, there were so many photographers. I was live streaming that one. But really? The visuals, that was my day that I was just like, okay, yeah, I've never seen it like this before. I've never seen it like that after that. And I went there quite a few times after that.
Well, what was really weird was it was cold. And, it's autumn, so whatever, right? Whatever. I've been out there in the winter time.
The best time. The best time now, because the winter time, the water's usually still warmer than the air, because it takes water a lot longer to lose its heat than the air does. So in the wintertime, the water's warm. In the summertime, the water's colder than the air. But when you get to the spring and the autumn, there's that right in between where the air and the water are just about the same temp. And that's the best time to get your long distance photography.
Yeah, but see what's so wild, man, is that the weekend before I took temperatures, I think if I can remember, it was like, I think it was in the just like around 61 degrees. I think, like, isn't 15, because my stupid gauges are all Celsius. Isn't 15 degrees Celsius like 60 degrees? I think it is.
It's a little high, I think. If you double it and add 30, is that so? Yeah, I guess it is 60.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Double it and then 30,
Ish-ty,
right? So
ish.
around 60, right? So look, check it out, man. This is the whole thing. So the weekend before, I was shooting all weekend, and I went out, and it was even Steven, right? 60 degrees air, and like, what was the water temperature? I think it was 62 to 64. It wasn't crazy. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a big divergence, right? Anyway, so and then that weekend, there was no inferior mirage, and I could see all the way to the shoreline, but there was a lot of activity in the air. There was a lot of energy in the air. Okay, so it's still blurry, right? It's still distorted. Okay, so then this Friday, I go out and it's cold, and I'm looking around, I'm seeing shit, like I'm like, man, this is like really, like I was like almost like I was Dorothy and I had stepped out of the house into Oz, and the Technicolor just shot open, right? I was like, I'm like, this is like different. There's something different, right? So I look up the temperature and it says it's 62, which was what it was the weekend before, but it was like fucking 52, man. It was not, there was no way. I was like, there is no way this is 62 degrees. It is too cold. So, oh man, it was, anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm still coming down from this, but, yeah, go to my channel and just like pick out any of those live 3-hour live streams that I did and just click anywhere and just listen to me. Just like, I'm just, I'm still coming down
Good
from
stuff.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That's what I was thinking, man.
And I had one friend that I've talked to. He lives in California. He's an Uber driver. He's the guy that I think I told you guys he's doing that health journey where he's pushing that he's going to push himself to live to 125 and look like he's 30. But I've talked to him a lot about my photography, and he came over and watched, and then I talked to him the next day. He's like, man, he's like, I've never seen anything like that. Like, I couldn't believe that you were zooming in on stuff that was that far away and it was that clear. And I was just like, wow, I was so glad that that's how it came across, because I felt like I was going to come back and show people and they'd be like, the fish wasn't that big, man. You told us he was like a 6-footer. That's like that's not what you told us you saw. Like, I was so worried it wasn't going to translate.
You need to do a video and just kind of get a rough estimate of how many hours, because I know you have like hundreds and hundreds of hours that you've spent out there with that record button going.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you are one of the few that have been at this optics thing like you have. I know there's a couple other people out there that are really into it, but yeah, you're one of these few people out there that have been recording these skylines and these optic phenomena for years, hundreds and hundreds of hours. And you're saying this is the first time you have ever seen it like this. That's huge. Man. That is huge.
And I would have missed it if I went to the Flatoberfest.
Right.
But I didn't end up going because work, they're like, we can't send you down there. It's not going to be worth it to, pay the miles and make the money. They're like, it's not going to be worth it. I'm like, okay, I guess I won't go. So then I went out. Oh my God. It was
meant to be. You were meant
Everything
to
happens for a reason, right? Zach?
I know,
exactly,
man. I know. Absolutely. And then I went out the next night on Saturday, and it was back to normal. And it was 66 degrees air. And I'm like, there's no way there was a 4-degree difference from last night. Something was happening last night. There's no way that what I felt that night was so cold that it was 62. I refuse to believe it.
Do you have a hygrometer?
I do. Yeah, okay. I do. Yeah. Yeah, I've got I have 2 different gauges that I use, and then I've got a water thermometer that I throw out into the bay.
I wonder if our
With that,
altering of
we're
this
wrapping it up
reality on
here.
a daily basis that we all are doing right now, I'm looking at you, Daz. I wonder if we have totally just screwed up. Like, I know we've screwed up time because time, not just is it so elastic during a show, it's ridiculous, but literally during my real life, time has become, and that's my fault, I'm sure, but it's just a non thing. I don't feel like I'm in the same time loop as most people. And that's, again, Walt's late everywhere, but that's not it. I'm used to just different vibe. Anyway, but this whole temperature thing is really intriguing me. Over this last maybe week to 2 weeks, we've gone through a lot of weird temperature fluctuations here in South Louisiana. But internally, I usually am a very easily regulated dude. And I just put it to the fact that maybe I'm getting older. I am. Or maybe, just the weirdness of these temperature changes that have been happening. But there'll be times where I am freezing here and it's like 75, or I'm like burning up and it's like, in the 40s. I don't know. Maybe we've just totally gotten everything out of sync just by the changes we're doing, by this whole concept of the malleability of this realm. I don't know. Just
love y'all.
Love you guys. It's been a hell of a
shit.
show. Thank
It
you so
is
much for
that. Love
popping in,
y'all. Thank you,
Trav.
Travis.
Yeah, guys.
Thank you all for joining us in chat. Thanks for being up this early or staying up this late. Either way, we enjoy you being here. We look forward to seeing you right back here on Friday morning for more Ironworx right here, truthfrequencyradio.com, TFRlive.com. In the meantime, be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.